So I'll start recording for this video now. So welcome back to Right on the Edge. My name's Derek, and today I'm going to be reacting to Batman Beyond Fates. What happened, everybody? I know, I know that this was a fantastic show, and I remember really loving it. But I have no idea how it ended or if it ended well. I think it's one of those shows that got canceled, unfortunately. And I think that's kind of because it was a little bit ahead of its time. I don't think the world was ready for this future chic again, or for lack of a better word, future chic.
That both as a compliment and in the funny haha play on words kind of way. After Warner Brothers requested a new show surrounding a teenage Batman, the crew behind the DC animated...
Yeah, I love the animation style of this. It's so fucking sick. It's like that dark, edgy thing that you got from like the Batman animated series, but with like future tech. And I forget what that aesthetic's called, but I love it. I love the aesthetic so much.
Universe were wary of the idea and protective of the world building they'd just spent the better part of a decade constructing, and so loopholed their way into setting the series in the future, hopping years and years forward.
I don't think they loopholed it in to the series, but I tell you what they did do. They fantastically wrote it in, and I love the fact that he retired due to the fact that he picked up a gun and shot somebody.
To Bruce Wayne's final days as Batman and the first of newcomer Terry McGinnis. They were leaving the 1990s world of Batman the Animated Series behind, setting the bat clock ahead 40 years. 50 years?
The Batman Beyond world takes place 50 years from now, 50 years in the future, period. So that when, the time comes along, it's like, oh, hey, where's our flying cars?
I was promised flying cars. I don't see any flying cars.
Yeah, why? Where's the flying cars at? It's so damn true, isn't it? Like, we were promised flying cars, and we still haven't got them. Come on, scientists. Actually, I have seen a few flying vehicles, at least concepts of them, so we're getting close.
Toonami, can you help me out here?
In the year 2039.
Thank you kindly. My point is, a lot of time had passed. Time the vast majority of we as fans never got to see. We heard about some of it, we saw little bits here and there, but there was just this void, an emptiness that left us with some big questions. Like, are all of Batman's old villains just dead?
I remember the Batman Beyond movie, where the Joker comes alive through Robin. Oh my god, that was so good. That was so good. Like that genetic fucking chip that just took him over, like started taking over his brain and everything. Ah, I still love it even after all these years.
Where's Nightwing? Whatever happened to Robot Jones? Wait, nope. Over the course of Batman Beyond, we did get some answers, while others were only ever revealed off-screen or like at a random Comic-Con or something. So that's our job today, to unravel for you the fates of as many present-day DCAU characters as possible, and where they wound up by the future of Neo Gotham. Because while you'd think they all just got older...
Well, you're wrong.
When you deal...
Good cut, man. Good cut. I was wrong.
With a character that has a long history in comics and movies and television, he's going to have fans of all age groups. People are going to watch simply because they know the character from, their own childhood and they want to catch up with it.
Wow, wait a minute. This is not my dad's Batman.
Wow. What are you trying to say, man? I ain't that old.
As much as we can look back on Batman Beyond today and pluck out the little continuity nods here and there, the people actually making the show had very little interest in putting stuff like that in to begin with. We were leaping over like half of Bruce Wayne's life, and as much as Kids WB wished for them to fill her up with immediately recognizable characters, the crew initially had basically zero desire to do so, wanting to make something fresh and unique with Batman Beyond. When we started talking about this show, we didn't want to do too much continuity-wise with Bruce Wayne to connect him directly to the old show. We wanted the show to be much more about Terry. We had to have that conversation with the writers quite often because they were just pitching Batman the Animated Series stories that were set in the future. It was like, no, this is not Batman the Animated Series, this is a completely different show. What we tried to avoid was the trap of saying, here's Joker 2000, here's Two-Face 2000.
It was really about...
I can understand why they'd want that, why they'd want something different. I could agree with that, honestly. Because you want something that sets it apart. You don't want that trope of them always having to compare you to something that was inarguably great. You want to stand up on your own, your own feet.
Trying to get writers to think differently. Let's think of something new so we don't fall into the traps of trying to like come up with, Penguin Jr.
Poison Ivy Beyond and Two-Face Beyond.
Joker Beyond and Two-Face Beyond. And
Two-Face's children, his twins.
Yeah, like Joker Beyond and Two-Face Beyond.
Not just be like, son of the Joker or son of Two-Face or son of Poison Ivy.
Robo Penguin.
Right. Yeah, we really weren't.
They managed to say that a lot, didn't they? But, the thing is, right, I understand. I really do understand. The problem with that is, like, you want enough there. It's a fine line, right? You want enough there to connect the old audience, as well as having enough there to drive in a new audience. There's nothing wrong with that.
To resist doing that.
Spellbinder has entered the chat. Still,
I
they
love
were
that
building
guy.
off the prior
I do love that dude's, like, design. I know it's so wonky, but I like it in the same way I like the splotch or whatever that guy's name is from the Spider-Man animated movie, the Michaels Morales movie. Spider-Verse. There we go, Spider-Verse.
Batman and Superman animated series, so it was inevitable that whether or not they made references to the past a sticking point, they were still going to do them every now and then.
But you have to. You have to. You have to do it because you have to connect the old audience with the new audience, and you have to merge them together. It's a fine line.
Yeah, there is something here, especially if we can make it a continuation of the show we've been doing. And that became kind of fascinating from a writer's point of view because we were able to use the seeds we had planted in the original series.
I will also say it probably wasn't all your choice. I bet you were kind of forced to do it.
And see how Bruce's life had progressed.
When I went to list everybody out, I realized there's actually way more folks we caught up with in Beyond time than I'd remembered. Safe to say, this video will be full to the absolute bat brim with spoilers. So if you haven't watched Batman Beyond, what are you doing? Go do that.
Never. You can't force me to do shit, dog.
Simple. Every old bad guy got turned into mannequins that Bruce now uses as target practice.
Still got it. I was about to say that, then he says it.
Got it.
But seriously, despite everybody wanting to steer clear of What's-His-Face Beyond, don't make me run the montage again, a good amount of the modern Bat Rogues did show up. In the episode The Winning Edge, Terry was hot on the trail of kids who were getting involved with Venom, the strength-enhancing steroid, not this guy.
Only one man has the formula. Bane. It's been 20 years since he left prison, but I've made it my business to keep track of his whereabouts.
So 2019, right? Yeah? Batman sneaks inside Bane's remote island hideaway, expecting a fight against one of the original Dark Knight's most formidable opponents. But instead, he's met with, well, much less of an obstacle. Now, a husk of the former hunk on perpetual life support.
Too many years on Venom. That's what the stuff will do to you.
And that was
Yeah. I mean, that makes sense, though, right? He's like an old man. He's been on the Venom forever. What are you gonna do? What are you gonna do about it? You know what I mean?
that for Bane. Though Batman defeated the guy who was taking care of him, so like who's watching Bane now? Does he just wither away in this room? What is this building even? Some kind of nursing home? Just Bane's house? How can he afford this? I'm actually left with way more questions than I wanted to be. But someone whose questions did get answered was Mr. Freeze.
Take a good look, Doctor. I've been like this for nearly 50 years.
Yeah, geez, 50? Well, he
Jesus
first
Christ.
turned all Mr. Freezy in the early 90s. That's nearly 50 years ago. Okay, checks out, moving on. Yes, the now spider-legless head of Dr. Victor
Nice.
Freeze was being kept in cold storage in the possession of corrupt businessman Derek Powers.
Oh yeah, dude, I forgot about that. Mr. Freeze is one of those very complex, great villains that you love to see. It's like, why did he turn to crime? Well, not because of any nefarious reason, you know what I mean? But it was for the simple reason of trying to cure his love, you know, who had fallen into the frozen thing like he did. But unlike him, she didn't get superpowers. She just... Oh, wait, no. Or it was some incurable disease. It was some incurable disease, wasn't it? But either way, he used the freezing stuff to keep her alive until he could find a cure, and then was going to be shut down by essentially greedy corporate people. He's very endearing.
Stored for winter? Hibernating? I don't know, insert your own ice pun here. Pull from Batman and Robin, there's literally 60 of them, I counted. Derek's body was deteriorating after a horrific chemical accident had transformed him into future Dr. Phosphorus, Blight. And the only way to confirm the safety of a possible brain transfer was with a test subject.
Remember, there might be some momentary discomfort.
Mr. Freeze's mind was moved into a clone body that hadn't suffered the original's Mark Hamill kicked me into a table fate. Victor was cured, able to start a new life in peace. But oops, JK, it didn't actually work right, and he freezy relapsed.
Yeah, it was very close.
Betrayed and left to die, Freeze reappeared in a super shui new suit and took matters into his own icy.
You said super shui, man. Was that a Kim Possible reference? Because I appreciate it.
Hands.
Remember, there might be some momentary discomfort.
In the end, Mr. Freeze brought the whole building down, destroying the facility and, theoretically, himself. That was the last we saw of Freeze in the shows, but we did get a few more blanks filled in by the Batman Adventures comic in the early 2000s, which reunited him with his wife, Nora. And in an alternate version of one of the issues that was never produced, we even would have seen how the Powers family came into possession of Mr. Freeze's head.
That's so cool, man. I don't understand why they don't release these things, which are such obviously good ideas. The amount of stuff that would be cool that wasn't released that could have been is way more than the cool stuff.
Believe me, you're the only one who cares.
Speaking of brain swapping,
Yeah,
here's
you're
an
the one that
unsettling
cares.
one for you.
But it's weird that it happened twice, right?
Fucking Dr. Douche. I love that show.
Once Batman Beyond had developed its own footing, the crew felt much more comfortable bringing back old foes for one last go-around, and we got the return of Ra's al Ghul. I mean,
Ra's al Ghul, one of the best villains ever. God, I love the episode where they have to go back into the past to stop him from taking over the world and winning World War II with like future tech. It's one of my favorite ones. It's one of my favorite all-time episodes of that type of stuff.
Talia. No, I do mean Ra's al Ghul.
I did not want you to find out this way,
Yeah, me
but I
neither.
suppose what is done is done.
Detective.
Our last present
That was creepy.
day story with Ra's and his daughter, Talia, revealed that the mystical Lazarus pits that allowed Ra's to stay alive for hundreds of years were no longer working. In an off-screen event known to fans as the infamous Near Apocalypse of '09, Ra's had sacrificed Talia in order to perpetuate his immortality, in perhaps one of the darkest stories to come out of this show or universe, replacing her consciousness with his own and cheating death once again.
I don't cheat death, I master it.
Oh, sorry, semantics.
I don't cheat death, I master it.
Don't cheat death. You whimper in fear of it.
Though we never got to see
Damn,
what
dude,
actually
it's
happened
fucking
in this
sick.
near
What a
apocalypse
sick
event, we have our theories. See this video. Raish's body was
Alright,
apparently
gonna
so
have to.
broken he had no choice but to do what he did.
That is the sickest thing I've ever seen. You're creeping me out.
You? She kissed me.
Raish planned on
Get fucked, man.
finalizing his scheme by transferring himself into the body of Bruce Wayne. But when taking on the duo of double Batmans, he was defeated, left for dead in a classic villain hideout explosion.
Whatever was in there died years ago.
And no one, not even you, could have pulled her back.
Slick transition, eh, James? Thank you, James. Bruce Wayne's former
You're welcome,
lover,
James.
Andrea Beaumont, aka the Phantasm, reappeared in the episode we otherwise keep secret.
Love that movie. Great movie.
Because spoilers, Epilogue, the season 2 finale of Justice League Unlimited, and the spiritual finale to Batman Beyond. In the years following the original Phantasm film, we'd gotten sporadic appearances of her in the DCAU tie-in comics, where she continued the life of an assassin, becoming a member of Black Mask's False Face Society. This Grim Reaper for Hire gig is also where we found her in Epilogue. Cadmus head Amanda Waller tasked Andrea with killing Terry McGinnis's parents, years before Bruce and Terry would ever meet. But even with all the Chucky Sauls and Buzz Bronskis and whoever else under her non-existent
Bro, how is that show so good? You know? Like, even just watching these clips, I'm like sucked in. I'm just sucked in by the art, just the nostalgia of it all. It just feels like Batman, you know? It just feels so good.
belt, she just couldn't bring herself to do it, refusing to carry out Waller's orders. Adjacent to this episode, we also nearly got an answer for Catwoman.
Let me tell you about a woman named Selena Kyle.
When the Return of the Joker movie came out, yes, we'll be hitting him soon enough. The Tim
Love it. Love that movie. The Return of Joker was fucking good. It was so goddamn good.
Boys were already planning a sequel.
If the movie sold well, which it didn't.
This second direct-to-video Batman Beyond film would have involved Selina Kyle, Catwoman, heading the elaborate scientific project that was the central plot of the epilogue episode. I'm being secretive about it because, well, hashtag keep epilogue a secret, don't spoil it, let people discover it for themselves, damn it. But this scrapped film would have brought back an elderly Selina, described by Bruce Timm
What, babe?
as what if Anne Bancroft was Catwoman in her prime. However, because Return of the Joker performed poorly and was split across two different versions of itself, another video of our...
Hey, sweetie. What's up?
Do you know this Alabama number they just called? I was gonna pick it up, but then they hung up.
No. But let me...
I don't know if it's like your lawyer or something.
You should definitely watch later. The crew instead reused this idea for JLU, which wound up working out much smoother anyway.
Then Catwoman became Amanda Waller, and we never leave anything on the table. Eventually, we get back around to it.
In the words of Mr. Tucker there, Epilogue acted as sort of the Amanda Waller version of the autobiography of Miss Jane Pittman, giving us a play-by-play of various monumental moments in her later life.
Did you know I was the government liaison with the Justice League for a while?
Eventually, she used her connections at Cadmus to, well, okay, have you seen Epilogue, person watching this video? If you haven't, seriously, go watch it and then come back, because I don't want you or anyone else finding out this way, but Amanda Waller cloned Bruce Wayne to create Terry McGinnis. There, I said it.
You're not Bruce's clone. You're his son.
Sorry, Samantha. Antics. Keep the canceled Catwoman version in mind, because we'll be coming back to it.
And sooner than you think.
But I'd be remiss if I didn't mention another Cadmus-related guy, Robert Vance.
Bob Vance, Vance Refrigeration.
I know we've made that joke before, but it's too good to pass up. We don't meet the Vance family until Batman Beyond, that being the old Robert Vance who becomes a spooky spyware skull, and Bobby Vance, his human grandson. But we did get another Vance, simply called Vance, in the JLU episode Task Force X, who helps the Suicide Squad infiltrate the Watchtower.
How did you know Vance was the inside man?
He was the only one on the tower whose mind I couldn't read.
Retroactively connecting this super minor Justice League character to the Beyond world was something that nobody realized they needed, but hey, that's Dwayne McDuffie for you. Then, of course, there's the big ones, the Joker and Harley Quinn.
Put in company!
Joker was hinted at a couple times in Batman Beyond, but we never got a full explanation.
Bruce said he was dead.
And?
That's it. I know there's more.
I like that there was a Joker wanted poster, as if like
they never caught him.
Yeah, and that you need to see his face. You can't remember his face.
Be on the lookout for this man.
Yeah.
As it turned out, and again, major spoilers here, major spoilers, Joker and Harley had kidnapped Robin, Tim Drake, torturing and mangling him into Joker Jr., a twisted, sick scheme that brought the Dark Knight and Clown Prince of Crime to their final confrontation. In the chaos, Batman lay limp in Joker's grasp, who instructed little JJ to finish off the hero once and for all. But in a momentary breakthrough, Tim instead shot and killed the Joker.
That's not funny. That's not...
Or he made Joker slip in a puddle and electrocute himself, if you're watching the version for babies. Decades later, in Terry's era as Batman, Joker re-emerged, revealed to have implanted a digital duplicate of himself in Robin's body, essentially reincarnating through the middle-aged Tim Drake.
Were you killed?
Sadly, yes. But I lived.
Look, it's been almost 40 years.
See, Bruce Timm? See? God, he's never gonna let us interview him, is he? As for Harley, Toy Fair magazine's Batman Beyond special from April '99 had Harley's co-creator Paul Dini joke that they hoped to begin a news broadcast some episode with "Today, President Quinzel announced," but it wasn't meant to be. In reality, she tussled with Batgirl a bit, then fell off a cliff to her presumed doom, but showed up at the end of Return of the Joker as a doddering old woman.
Break a grandmother's heart. I hope they throw the book
get you.
Oh, shut up, Nana Harley.
It's never explained how she survived this fall, though some have argued it could be due to the bio-enhancements given to her by Poison Ivy way back during BTAS, and others, well, we've got a pretty cool theory that I think deserves its very own video essay sometime. Let me know if you want that, because I think it's neat. As far as the rest of Bruce's original baddies go, we weren't given much. Who knows what happened to Scarecrow or Red Claw or the Condiment King? That Toy Fair issue gave us some other fun joke explanations, like Killer Croc being stuffed and mounted in the reptile wing of the American Museum of Natural History, or how Penguin now runs a daycare. He's just doing it for the kids. They call him Uncle Pengy. Two-Face got cleaned up and became a lawyer for a major motion picture studio, and Poison Ivy supposedly mutated into a quasi-human, quasi-plant-based form of life, becoming one with a South American rainforest, which, yeah, okay, I buy that completely.
Cannon!
Even Mad Hatter got his due, now running a men's clothing store with his close personal friend, the Riddler.
Oh my god, they were roommates.
Except we actually do know what happened to old Eddie. At a Comic-Con in
Portland, Oregon.
I chatted up Batman Adventures writer Dan Slott for a bit, where he told me of the proposed final issue of his canceled comic series that would have revealed the Riddler's fate. When Terry asks Bruce about what happened, the old man clams up like it's a super touchy subject, embarrassed that he'd ultimately been bested by the Riddler, who had managed to raid a vault and make off with millions of dollars, then erasing all record of his identity. Riddler's fake death even came with a gravestone that read ? To ? Old security camera footage would show Bruce basically losing his shit, furious that Edward had pulled off the ultimate riddle.
Somebody tell me how he did it!
However, Terry uses future tech to decrypt the footage and reveal that Riddler never even stole that money, he destroyed it. At the end of the issue, an elderly Edward Nygma stands by his own empty grave, then accidentally falls in, buried alive by robotic cemetery drones.
Jesus.
Man, I'd have never thought of that.
Neither would the Riddler.
As far as total Justice League membership goes, because the JL shows came out after Beyond, the percentage of all of these guys that actually get explanations is pretty slim. And I'm just gonna nip this in the bud. No, they didn't all die in some horrific cataclysm as described in the Kronos episode. That was an alternate timeline that Batman reset at the end, you silly butts. It never happened, and it never will. Probably. But as for the ones for which we do get answers, let's start with the obvious.
Batman.
Bruce Wayne carried on as the not-so-caped Crusader for several years, but along the way began developing heart problems, which affected his crime-fighting abilities. Inevitably, his body was simply unable to carry on, and he suffered from a heart attack, resorting to pulling a gun on a bad guy. This act sealed the deal.
Never again.
I had a bad childhood.
Yeah, I know.
What do you mean you know?
Look at how you stand. People who had good childhoods don't stand like that.
And yet the universe saw fit to fill the Bat Boots with the fateful arrival of Terry McGinnis at the Wayne Manor doorstep. The Justice League wouldn't appear until the very tail end of the show, in the two-parter The Call.
I think it's time your protege joined the Justice League.
Superman dramatically revealed his new Mr. Fantastic temples and dark-toned super duds that harkened back to his Kryptonian heritage.
Superman!
But in a shocking twist, or perhaps not as shocking as it could have been since this happened the last time we saw him, Superman turned out to be a traitor, seemingly killing one of the other Leaguers, and revealed to be under the mind control of Starro the Conqueror, who he had just kept loose in his Arctic zoo. Maybe not the best idea in hindsight. Batman and the League managed to defeat Starro and free Superman, who carried on as the leader of the team. And while this episode was actually the DCAU's first usage of the League ever, the rest of its ranks weren't folks we necessarily expected in a classic lineup. Big Barda had made a quick cameo in the Superman episode Apocalypse Now, but here she was a literal Wonder Woman stand-in.
We did not actually have the rights to Wonder Woman at that time. I always loved Big Barda from the comics, so it was easy to swap in Big Barda instead of Wonder Woman. Also, she's kind of more of a sci-fi world anyway, so that kind of made sense to put her in there.
These rights issues even persisted all the way to production on Justice League, to where Barda nearly replaced Diana there as well.
Great, Gaia!
Barda showed up again in the jail. Show, though.
They're not in the league. I'm sure of it.
But eventually, I guess she made the cut. For the rest of the JL of the past, their whereabouts are pretty vague. Etrigan the Demon appeared in a couple issues of the Batman Beyond tie-in comic, which we discussed in detail in our Halloween video a couple years ago, his human host Jason Blood being as youthful as ever, and even bringing in a sort of protege of his own, Kyle. The actual Wonder Woman did get a mention in a Static Shock crossover.
We must have gotten one of yours. Who was it? Wonder Woman?
So she's apparently still active in the Beyond future, even if we don't know anything about anything. And Aquaman only appeared on a computer screen for a second, literally labeled whereabouts unknown. MIA, ran away from home, molecules scattered across 17 different dimensions. Everything is canon and nothing is. And while we did see more on all these folks through the Earth 12 Beyond comics of the 2010s, like Wonder Woman leaving this reality, falling in love with Justice Lord's Batman, and then marrying Justice Lord's Superman, yeah, it was a whole thing. Those books are effectively only like kinda canon, kinda not. Here's time number 200, where I tell you that we've done a video about that you should add to your watch list. The Flash, Wally West, got shown in those demi-canon comics as well, having been absorbed into the Speed Force and becoming a sort of conscience for the new Flash, Danica Williams. Perhaps Wally was here because he was pulled into the Speed Force in JLU before the League ripped him out of there and it was only a matter of time before he got sucked back in. I have no idea. I don't think anybody does. But as a sort of consolation prize, there is an Agent West in Batman Beyond spin-off The Zeta Project, a potential descendant of the Scarlet Speedster. I mean, come on, he's got red hair, he's voiced by the same actor as Flash, his last name is West.
The last name never occurred to me until you just said it.
You officially canonize it right now.
That's it.
No.
Okay, but his first name is also Orin, like Aquaman's Atlantean name. Did Flash and Aquaman become buddies enough for Wally's grandson to be named after him?
That's very unlikely.
Superhero Static himself would finally have his dream come true and become a member of the Justice League as well.
He's one of our greatest heroes. Someone with the power to change the world.
He's you, Virgil.
Static met his older self in that Future Shock crossover, where an accident with a freaky time travel chair made it so he
hopscotched over 40 years.
Did I hear 40? In JLU's time travel episode, The Once and Future Thing, Static is still on the team in a subjectively better costume and a bit older.
65 is the new 30.
And his crime-fighting partner, Gear, was also still an active hero by Terry's time as Batman, often taking part in covert missions.
What happened to you?
Damn, boy, he's thick!
This episode also revealed that Virgil was a pops himself.
I have a son?
Yeah, you do.
We didn't learn anything more about that, but Dwayne McDuffie's Milestone Forever comic in 2010 gave us a peek into Static's mainline continuity future, where he was married to his old classmate Frida and had 2 children, Larry and Sadie, both also superhero gifted. Other legacy heroes besides Batman made their way into the Future League, like Cairo, an 8-year-old Tibetan boy who is this era's Green Lantern. We don't know what became of Kyle Rayner, John Stewart, or any of the rest, but Rex Stewart, aka Warhawk, fills our final hero hole.
Phrasing. Shut up!
While Warhawk appeared in Beyond as a Hawkman stand-in, his lore was expanded in JLU, revealing him to be the future son of John Stewart and
Your mother. Who is she?
Kind of obvious, don't you think?
He was named Rex in honor of John's longtime friend Rex Mason, Metamorpho, an actual best buds situation that makes sense, but neither show ever revealed the future fate of Shiera. Maybe she finally got that peaceful exit she always wanted.
Although, to be fair, if I'd laid an egg that size,
He's kidding.
Hitting, Dad.
The last group to cover here, and perhaps the most integral, is the Bat family. Now, this can extend as far as you want. You could include the original Commissioner Gordon, who we get a glimpse of on a desk at the police station, and who we know was made aware of Joker's death. Lucius Fox gets pulled in via his own eventual company, Foxteca, which also name drops his son.
Why, Lucius Jr. was still vice president?